So when you come to our office, just to walk you through what to expect when you come in. First thing, you'll be greeted by Brittany and our front desk, and you'll be welcome to the office. One of the things that we need to establish is if you're actually a candidate for the type of care that we do in our office. We do very specialized work, and so we need to establish specifics as what's going on. So sometimes a patient comes in, they've been told they have migraines, they've been told they have a herniated disc, and so what we need to do is examine and to review MRI findings. We need to look at any testing as far as how well their spine moves, doesn't move, how they're standing. We have very special machines that called the Spine Master that measure posture, and that can show us exactly where you're standing and how things are working in your body.
And also with the Spine Master, one of the things it does is we have calipers that measure, we set them on top of the hips, because what we're looking for is when you're walking around, when you're standing, how is your body in position? So a lot of times people think their hips are level and they're actually quite unlevel. Or instead of up top, instead of being centered, they're more leaning more to that left side, putting more pressure on that low back pain, which can be exacerbating that low back pain or creating radiation down your legs.
And so with our process of taking specific x-rays for the NUCCA procedure, what we do is we're taking x-rays specifically from the side, the top of the head, and the very front at specific angles. So it's by far very different than other procedures, x-ray processes you may have had in the past. And what we do with this process is it then allows us to really evaluate your spine in a three-dimensional aspect and how you're standing, leaning, how you may be twisted, and off-center. So this is how we can start to evaluate why something may be having, you may be having pain into your arms, tingling, numbness perhaps. Maybe there's a strength change from the left side to right side of your upper body. We can also evaluate from the x-rays and the information that we learn is how the legs may be affected, if there's a disc that's been affected, or a lot of arthritis or degenerative changes in the x-ray.
So here we have your x-rays here. We're going to do a quick look at them. What we're looking for is we're looking at the overall curvature in your neck. In between each set of vertebrae is your disc, and the disc is a soft tissue. It's kind of a cartilaginous material. But a lot of times patients have heard, oh, I have a bulging disc, I have a herniated disc, or my disc is thinned out. So we're looking at that overall condition. Up here between between C4, C5, it's a little bit thinner there. So it's something that we'll want to evaluate a little bit further. In this next film, this is the vertex. This is one that when we were taking your x-ray, your chin went up in the cup, and I brought the camera down from the top. With this, we're looking to see how is the atlas sitting? Is it sitting straight, or are we rotated a little bit? And you can see that yours is rotated a little bit forward on that right side.
So I had a freak accident in 2009. It was just something that was completely out of the blue, was just putting banana bread in the oven to bake, and I felt a pop in my back. And I went down and I couldn't get up, and we ended up needing to have my son call for 911 because I literally couldn't move. The emergency personnel finally came and rolled me over onto a board, and I got to the hospital, and I stayed there for a couple of weeks, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. They said, we don't know what happened. All we can see is you're inflamed, and we really don't have any answers for you. And several of the doctors said, you may never walk again. And when I went to a rehab hospital, the therapist there actually told me about Dr. Lisa and Dr. Sarah, and said, I want to recommend that you go see them and see about having treatment for your atlas bone. And I came in here on a walker trying to just push it forward to move my legs and get in here. And by the time we were done with our first adjustment, I walked out without the walker. So I knew that I was in good hands over here, and I knew that they would take good care of me.